Hi, this is Linda K. Black. I do a lot of videos. I'm not very good. I had a stroke 3 years ago, so my speech is off. But I keep trying. No matter what your circumstances are, keep trying. But I'm going to tell more stories for Lucie and Bella. But I'm going to have my stories under K Gray, Lotridge Black. Okay. When I was born, my name was Gray. I was adopted when I was 2 years old by Ralph and Celia. And I remember one time my mom told me my name was, Linda K. My name was Linda K. Lotridge. But as a girl at school, her name was Linda Lee. Linda Lee. I said, she had such a beautiful name, Linda Lee. And my mother told me, well, my name used to be Linda Lee. But when she adopted me, she changed my name to Linda K. Oh, that was nice of her. But anyway, so when I'm doing my books on my two dolls, I'm going to get a boy doll. I bought them at the thrift store. Okay. But it's supposed to be, we're going to be Christian stories. Okay, Christian stories. And so there's so many Linda K. Blacks. I'm going to go ahead for these. I'm going to put under Linda. I'm going to go by K. K, my middle name, K. Gray, Lotridge Black. Okay? And at one time, I knew I had two families, And for years, only two people knew I had two families. One time at a gas station downtown in Bakersfield, I was talking to this man, and then I walked away, and other man came, and those two men said, how do you know Linda? And he said, she goes to my church. And the other guy says, no, she goes to my church. So a lot of times I went to two churches. But when I went, at one time, I wanted to find another church besides my church. But I needed to go somewhere where I could pray. And I could, have people pray. So I went to this church in Oildale. And Sister Peggy was a pastor at the church. And she let me have children's church. And then she actually had me on the stage leading the music. No, I can't do that. But my mom and dad were Ralph and Celia Lotridge were ministers. But my mom said when you lead the singing, you could hear the echo and it bounces back. And it really happened. I said, I can't lead the singing, okay? But she was such a wonderful woman preacher, Sister Peggy. She had a church there, was on Roberts Lane, and then later she had a church somewhere else. But she was a really good person. She really, really was, And, but sometimes I'd go at my church, and I taught children's church, and then later I go over to Sister Peggy's church, and I had children's church. And so I had two lives. That's so funny. And my biological mom actually came to Sister Peggy's church, and I saw her in the front with her hands up, praising God, And she was praising God. And sometimes when I knew people, they wanted to go to a church that was Pentecostal, like years ago. I'm Pentecostal, but I go, oh, come over to Sister Peggy's church. It's Pentecostal, And the Holy Spirit was there. But anyway, so I had two lives by Linda, two lives. And actually another lady knew, she worked at Sears when I worked at Sears, and she knew that I had another family. Okay? But I just want to go by Linda Gray Lotridge Black for my books that I'm going to be writing. And I did. I have two families, and I thank God. I was adopted by Assembly of God ministers, and I got to grow up in church. My parents pastored. In fact, they got me. They pastored at Paramount, California, and so my grandma was sick. She was a swank, and so they asked for a church closer to Bakersfield. So my parents pastored at Shafter Assembly of God Church. And I have memories of Shafter. I remember a lady had a baby, and I remember thinking, when I grow up, I want to have a baby, you know? And I remember that. Well, anyway, we were at Shafter for a while, and then my parents pastored Faith Tabernacle on High Street in Bakersfield. And from there, we went to Northridge Assembly of God Church. And the best people in the world were at Northridge. Wonderful Christians. And I wish every young person in their life could have a church family that love each other, you know? That was wonderful. And then my dad gave up the church, and then I went to Pierce College one semester, and then we moved back to Bakersfield, okay? But anyway, so I had like two lives. That's funny. But Sister Peggy, I really appreciate her trusting me and letting me do a lot of things at church. It's really wonderful. And she had a heart for people, and she loved all her congregation. And that's important, you know. And everybody's supposed to love one another. And life is good, and we need to pray for America. We need to pray for the whole world. And I pray that everybody believes in God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. And my books are going to be Bible stories for kids, you know. And but I'm just trying to do my best. And I have a wonderful church here in Canada right now. I love, and I'm learning a lot of things in lots of ways. You know, at church, I was always working with kids. I remember in Northridge on Roscoe, I let all the kids get into the Women's Missionary Council clothes. I let them play dress-ups. Let the kids play dress-ups with the things that are making the Women's Missionary Council stuff. They said, no, you can't do that. Well, I wanted them to play. But anyway, it was fun. But anyway, I'm just going to, for my books, I'm saying it's Lucie and Bella, and by Kay, that's my middle name. And when I was born, my name was Gray. I was adopted Lotridge, and I got married. My name was Black. So it's going to be Gray, Lotridge, Black. Okay? Okay. God bless you. And tell your children to be nice, obey God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And teach your children the songs that you learned when you were little. Okay? Okay? Don't let the world